Hello and welcome to your Vedic Lunar Scope for today, the 10th of August, 2015. The moon today will enter the sign of Cancer and will transit its way through the nakshatra of Ardra. You're running the risk of developing a little too much emotional attachment to bringing something into being. And should you not awaken to the realization of this fact, well, chances are that you may have to be awakened in a manner that is not quite so gentle, right? Because if we don't pay attention and if we don't listen to the signs and signals, well, those are the points that the universe feels that it has to shout rather than whispering in our ear. And at the moment, you're perhaps a little too confident of the outcome of a particular situation. And that is actually something that's working to your detriment rather than working to your benefit. You may feel like you have everything all sorted out, but chances are that your judgment is actually probably quite flawed. So in keeping your ego in check at the moment, please also check the facts. The answers today are not going to just drop in your lap. You're going to have to do the work in order to find them. And the first step towards doing the work that's necessary to guide you to the answers is to adopt a sense of humility. After all, we can't really pick up on anything if we're not willing to listen. And chances are that you need to listen rather than doing some speaking. Now, I'm not talking about vocal speaking. I'm talking about taking action and being so confident and perhaps coming across in a manner that is a little too, smug or confident about one's own outcome. Instead, be willing to accept that you may need a little bit of guidance, that things may not be going the way that you might particularly think that they're going, which doesn't mean that they're going the wrong way. It just means that you need to keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and as always, just keep your heart open. And the best way to keep your heart open is by being humble. Doing so will ultimately guide you in the right direction. Now, Ardra is a Kama-driven nakshatra, and it's ruled by Rahu, the North Lunar node. Rahu deals with our compulsive desires, those desires that just, arise from us. And what particularly tends to happen with Ardra Nakshatra is generally somebody can develop a sense of laser-like focus on one particular point to the extent that they're not going to be aware of other answers when they present themselves. Ardra is also associated with Rudra, which is another form of Shiva. Rudra is the god of storms. And what generally tends to happen through this particular association is something stormy happens in the person's life, or they storm after a particular result. But with the storm comes the rains, and the rains sometimes come in a very harsh manner. After the rain has come, though, it cleanses the earth. It also makes the ground fertile for future development. So what tends to happen is some sort of difficulty in connection with our desires, which ultimately leads to an awakening. If our intent is spiritual at heart and we're paying attention and willing to be aware, then Ardra Nakshatra can bring a lot of magnificent results. But the chances are today that you don't have your eyes open as wide as you perhaps need for them to be open. The lunar tithi today is Krishna Dwadashi. And with Krishna Dwadashi, well, the chances are that you're thinking that you know what's going on. You're thinking that you're picking up on all the signs and signals that you need to pick up on in order to keep a situation rolling down the right path and bring it into creation. But chances are that you're not. The solar lunar yoga is Vajra, which means thunderbolt. And with Vajra energy, things just generally tend to happen and answers are, dropped in our lap. But due to associations with this particular solar lunar yoga, chances are that's not going to happen today. You're going to need to do the work yourself. It's not going to come as a bolt out of the blue. Or rather, the only way to make it come as a bolt out of the blue is by opening your awareness and paying attention to what's happening. and keeping your eyes open and looking for the signs and signals and not thinking that you've got it right all the time. Little pieces of the puzzle may come to you. Wait for more pieces of the puzzle to fall in your lap as well. Be willing to be guided, and you will be guided. Now, if you could use a little bit more guidance with a particular aspect of your life, I do also offer a vast range of astrological services, which are available through a link which you should see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen right about now. If you don't see that link, please, there should be a link further down the page in the description area of the page as well that you can click on. And that should take you to my astrological services page where you can book your service. That's going to do it for your Vedic Lunar Scope for today, the 10th of August, 2015. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.